99.9% of the guys out there who are trying to attract girls are simply doing it all wrong. What you're about to learn is the most effective strategy for attracting girls, and it's easily the #1 strategy that is used by men who identify most with these sigma males. So with that said, let's begin. When I was younger, something that always intrigued me was how the typical bad boys always seemed to end up with the same type of girl again and again. And every time that I would see them, they would have a different girlfriend, but for some strange reason, this girl was almost identical to all of the other girls that they had dated, but at the same time, she was slightly different. Most guys think that attracting girls is inherently difficult, not realizing that there's actually somewhat of a formula for doing it, and the formula goes a little something like this. Every single person on the planet, including the girl that you like, goes for a certain type of guy. But the problem is that people don't go around telling other people what their type is. Imagine if every person walked around with a huge emoji over their head that told you exactly the type of person that they are attracted to. They didn't realize that attraction would be so much easier if this were the case, but so far we haven't developed the technology to the point where we are all living in a giant video game where we can put emojis above our heads. So in the meantime, all that we can really do when it comes to trying to figure out somebody's type is guess. And the sigma male is arguably one of the most effective males when it comes to attracting girls. And it's not because he's super confident or super mysterious, although these things definitely help. I think that is what makes the sigma so incredibly good at what he does, just knowing what he is looking for. Nothing more, nothing less. Growing up, they'll say, unquote, the bad boys in school always had a different girlfriend, but if you looked at each girl individually, they would all fit into the same basic archetype. Imagine you're playing Pokemon Go. After you throw enough Pokeballs, you start to see patterns, and eventually you discover that some Pokemon are easier to catch with certain types of balls. Now we know why the bad boys always had countless girlfriends who were all different. Yet they are all the same at the same time because each one of these girls fits into a specific archetype, and the guy who was dating all of these girls realized that the archetype or character that he fit into best was extremely effective for attracting the specific type of archetype that all of the girls fit into. Imagine you have $100 in front of you, and you reach out into your pocket and find that you only have a single key to unlock them. Now each door represents a random girl that you haven't even met yet but that you might be attracted to. Now most guys will go to each and every door and try to stick their key in, and I know that sounds kind of weird, but these are the doors we were talking about here, nothing more. Now what if the key in your pocket can only unlock one door out of the 100? Think about how much time and energy you would waste going around and trying to unlock every single door with a key that is only good for one of them. This strategy makes absolutely no sense, yet it is the exact strategy that many guys use every single day when they are trying to attract girls. And think about what would happen to you mentally if you were to start sticking your key into each keyhole on each door, and then one door after another. Every single time that you do it, it fails to unlock the door. Eventually you're going to start thinking that there is something wrong with your key, when really you're just sticking your key into the wrong doors. If you went out there and tried to attract 20 different girls and every single one of them turned you down, you would probably start to think that there's something fundamentally wrong with you. But what if, instead of just guessing and trying to stick your key into every door, even if it's not the right fit, you became something else? Very selective. And you made sure that you only put your key into the right door or into the right lock. What most guys fail to understand is that girls are very different when it comes to attraction compared to guys. Most guys, as long as a girl is moderately good-looking, will feel some sort of attraction for her. This means that theoretically, every girl on the planet has a master key, because their key could unlock 95 out of 100 doors, whereas a man's key can probably only unlock 1 or 2 at the most. See, girls are very selective in terms of what they find attractive, and what one girl finds incredibly attractive, another might find incredibly repulsive. Every single guy on the planet has a rough archetype that they fit into based on their character, and that archetype will determine the type of girl that they can most easily attract. Our goal when it comes to attraction should always be to gain the most reward for the least amount of effort, because that is the most effective way to do things. So the question that you have to ask yourself is, what archetype are you, and what type of girl does that archetype attract best? Or, in other words, what type of door is your key most likely to unlock? Many girls in my school growing up would always pick a bad boy, so it quickly became obvious that this was the type of guy that these girls were attracted to. Other girls would pick the ball player, or the guy who was popular, or the really social guy who had status. Then you have girls who are into nerdy guys and girls who are only attracted to super dominant alpha males. What you have to understand is that every single girl out there has a type, and with enough experience, eventually you will know just by looking at a girl what type of guy she goes for. The most effective way to attract girls is by using the keyhole method, or selectively choosing only the type of girl that is most likely to find you attractive and then ignoring the rest. If the specific key that you have works best at unlocking blue doors, for example, then don't waste your time trying to unlock doors that aren't blue. It's like, if you're naturally really good at video games, why would you want to waste your time trying to become the best football player? This is the most effective way to attract girls using a little something I like to call the keyhole method. By the way, if you want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe buttons. Until next time.